It's a hot August night in Boston. Fenway Park is rocking. Just 3.5 games out of first place, this is the closest the Red Sox have come to a pennant in decades. Fans will remember this season as the impossible dream. Tony Conigliaro steps into the box. Tony is 22 years old, the youngest hitter in MLB history to reach 100 home runs, and already the most beloved player on the Red Sox. As he leans out over the plate, waiting for the pitch, Tony has no idea what's about to happen to him. In the next second, his life will change. Anthony Conigliaro was born in Revere, Massachusetts, a few miles north of Boston. Tony was the best high school player in the area. His father Sal and mother Teresa were a fixture at all of his games. So were Major League Scouts. The Red Sox invited him to a tryout at Fenway Park, alongside another hard-hitting outfielder named Tony. Tony Horton, a Santa Monica native, would soon become one of Conigliaro's best friends on the team. In early 1964, the Boston Brass invited Tony to spring training in Arizona. It was there he caught the eye of Ted Williams. Williams was Tony's boyhood hero. Ted, meanwhile, saw himself reflected in young Conigliaro. His batting style was aggressive. He crowded the plate so much that his head hung over the top of it, and he hated to lose. At 19 years old, Tony still had a lot of maturing to do. At least, that's how Ted Williams saw it, telling reporters that he was, quote, 2 years away. Others, like Johnny Pesky, saw it differently. Pesky had been a teammate of Williams, and a fan favorite, as a player. Now, though, he was entering his second year as manager of the Red Sox, and seemed to have beef with, well, just about everyone. There was GM Mike Higgins, who wanted the manager's job himself. Carl Yastrzemski, who clashed with him both on and off the field, and first baseman Dick Stewart, who just kinda hated the guy. What Pesky needed was an ally, and he found one in the form of Tony Conigliaro. So when Tony had a monster spring training in 1964, that was all the reason Johnny Pesky needed to add him to the opening day lineup. But before we get to that, I want to give a huge thank you to the sponsor of this video, Baseball Hits 26. I'm a baseball fan, and if you're watching me, odds are that you're one too. Which is why I'm so excited to tell you about Baseball Hits 26, an officially licensed MLBPI baseball game featuring real pros and authentic action. It's fast, fun, and tap to play on mobile, so you can play anytime, anywhere. Collect and upgrade your favorite players, climb leaderboards, and relive clutch moments. This year's cover athlete is none other than the big dumper himself, Cal Raleigh. Play as Cal as you test your skill, compete with friends, join clubs, and much more. Plus, with frequent time-limited events and exclusive rewards, every day is game day. It's easy to learn, which means you can play with friends, family, and me. If you join my club, Historian, we can play, compete, and win together. That's the club name Historian to join me in the game. So download Baseball Hits 26 and join my club. Thanks to them for sponsoring this video. The winter had been a hard one for the city of Boston. The previous November, President Kennedy, whose life had begun 46 years earlier in a house just blocks from Fenway Park, was shot dead in the city of Dallas. The months to follow were cold and dark. In an effort to honor their most famous fan, the Red Sox called their home opener John F. Kennedy Day. All proceeds from the game went to the new JFK Memorial Library Fund. Before the game, the Harvard Band performed some of JFK's favorite songs. Half an hour later, Tony Conigliaro took the field.
There's a drive by Conigliaro, and it is out of here. What a bomb he is!
Within a month, Tony C. had collected another 5 home runs. By July, he had 20. Sure, the Sox finished under 500, again. And sure, Johnny Pesky was unceremoniously fired at the end of the season. But with Conigliaro in the lineup, Boston had something it hadn't felt in a long time. Hope.
People think baseball is a fairly easy game to a guy like myself, but it isn't. The toughest part about playing baseball is the fact you have to go out there and play. Even if you have a headache or an upset stomach or a pulled leg muscle, you got to try and play every day.
Not that there weren't problems. See, Tony played at full speed, ran hard after every ball, and continued to crowd the plate. As a result, he also became a magnet for hit-by pitches. He lost a week in May to a broken wrist, courtesy of the A's Mo Drabowski. A month later, he tumbled into the stands in Chicago, trying to make a catch. He spent the next 9 days nursing injuries to his back, hand, and both knees. On the same day he hit his 20th home run, he also racked up his 5th hit by pitch of the season. This one broke his arm, and he sat out until September.
Well, it does bother me because I've had so many broken bones. My wrist and my thumb and my arm bother me when it's cold, and I find that it's a little tough to get loose hitting.
Off the field, meanwhile, Tony was a celebrity.
If your name is Tony Conigliaro, you not only break records, you cut them.
Releasing several original songs beginning in 1965.
You can get any guy you want going, girl. I know you can, so don't say you don't, because you do. Well, baby, ain't gonna eat out my heart anymore. I ain't gonna eat out my heart anymore. So quit it.
And sure enough, as his sophomore campaign came to a close, Tony was right where he needed to be.
There it is. See you later. Going. Look at that ball off the light tower, over the screen and everything at left field.
His 32 home runs led the league, making him the youngest player in MLB history to take the crown. He hit another 28 in 1966.
And Conigliaro has come up with another long home run.
With every game, it seemed like he was improving.
Well, I think we're a much better club than we were last year. In fact, this is the best club I've been on. This is my fourth season, and I think this is probably the best all-around balanced team we've had. We got youth and a little experience to go along with it.
By the summer of 1967, Tony Conigliaro was playing better than ever. He was named to his first All-Star team and continued to play harder than just about anyone.
Conigliaro makes a spectacular catch.
After Conigliaro hit a come-from-behind walk-off home run to beat the White Sox in extra innings, the Boston Globe referred to 1967 as the impossible dream season.
Home run number 2 in 2 days here for Conigliaro over that long left field fence.
On July 23rd in Cleveland, he sent a fly ball to deep center field for his 100th career home run.
And it is gone for a home run. Conigliaro puts the Red Sox on top 2-0.
With this swing, the 22-year-old became the youngest player in American League history to reach the 100-homer mark. They were just one game out of the division lead, with their first real shot at a pennant since 1946. Ted Williams, a member of that very team, gave some advice to Tony. With the Sox getting serious now, opposing pitchers were going to start targeting him. He told Conigliaro to back off the plate.
There's Tony now, on his way to third base. Congratulations from Eddie Popowski.
On the 18th of August, 1967, the California Angels came to Fenway. Tony got to work right away, dropping a single into center field in his first at-bat. When he came around again in the fourth, the score was still tied at 0. Before he could get into the batter's box, however, a fan in the crowd lobbed a smoke bomb onto the field. The black haze enveloped Fenway Park. When the smoke lifted and the umpires resumed play, Tony wondered whether Jack Hamilton's arm had gotten stiff from all the waiting. Maybe he should have taken a few warm-up pitches, just in case. Regardless, Tony stepped into the box. He dug his cleats into the dirt, leaned out over the plate, and watched as the ball came straight at his head. Everything was dark. His ears were filled with a loud ringing noise. His mouth swelled up. He couldn't breathe. Rico Petrocelli, the on-deck hitter, was the first to reach him. Tony was alive and awake, but blood was streaming out of his ear, mouth, and nose. As the young man writhed on the ground in agony, the crowd of 31,000 watched in silence. He was diagnosed with a fractured cheekbone and a dislocated jaw. The team doctor said that if the pitch was 2 inches higher, Tony would have been killed. When he was released from the hospital 8 days later, you could still see the baseball stitches imprinted on his face.
And Tony, tell us what happened, as you remember it, a week ago, Friday night.
Well, Howard, we were playing the California Angels, and Hamilton was pitching. And it was the first pitch in the fourth inning. I was the leadoff hitter. And I remember digging in and guessing for a fastball. And I saw the pitch coming, but I had absolutely no time to get out of the way. I felt the ball hit my temple, and I felt my knees crumble. And as I hit the ground, I had a strange feeling because I heard a loud whistle, and my eyes slammed shut, and I couldn't see. And they put me right on a stretcher. I was conscious all the time. I went into the trainer's room and they rushed me to the hospital. Once I got to the hospital, I was in real pain. I had a very bad headache. I was bleeding through the mouth and bleeding through the nose.
As Tony slowly recovered, the impossible dream continued for the Red Sox. Tony tried to support his teammates from the bench, but couldn't shake the feeling that he'd let them down.
Can the Red Sox win the pennant without Tony C?
Well, the night I got hurt, they won, and they won 6 in a row after that, I believe. So I don't think that they'll be. Well, I think they'll be hurt a little bit, I must admit, but I have to say that. But the club is doing real well, and we got a lot of enthusiasm.
As it turned out, however, this would be the least of his problems going forward.
Tony, good luck to you, and thank you so much for letting us into your home.
Thank you very much.
You're a good one, Tony C.
He attempted to come back in 1968, with the Red Sox staging a joint signing for him and his brother Billy. But Tony's vision was still terrible, and he was declared medically unable to play.
Conigliaro, now 23 years old, was on the verge of becoming a superstar for the Boston Red Sox when he was hit on the side of his head by a fastball that crushed his left eye. Now, he sits on a Cape Cod beach where the kids stare at him and ask for his autograph, or he tosses a ball with a friend and talks baseball. He is determined to become a major leaguer again. He works out each morning. If his eyesight doesn't come around, he'll try to make it as a pitcher. After he was hit, a cyst formed, burst, left a tiny hole in his retina. He has normal vision now, but no depth perception. Only recently, doctors give him the first sign of hope. The hole is contracting. But that awful moment, the days that followed, haunt his life.
All winter, I felt that there was a possibility I wouldn't make it back. So I tried singing. I went into a few nightclubs here in the area, and I tried to keep busy. What I'm planning on doing now is to see if I can make it as a hitter. At the same time, I want to be a pitcher, just in case I don't make it as a hitter. So my workouts, therefore, are very difficult. It's difficult for me to pitch for a half hour and then hit for a half hour and then run and do all the things that both a hitter and a pitcher has to do. I've had 6 broken bones in the big leagues, but I've never been hit the way I was hit on August 18th. I go through it every once in a while thinking exactly what happened, and it was just really painful. But I told myself, and I had to talk to myself all winter, say to myself, if you're afraid of that baseball, don't bother hitting.
He didn't quit, though, and by 1969, his vision had improved enough for him to return to the Red Sox lineup.
He has struck out, swinging, walked, singled to center, and flied to left.
In his first game back, he crushed a 10th inning, go-ahead home run.
Drive to left center, Blair's back, and it is home run for Conigliaro.
He played 141 games that season, drove in 82 runs, and was named the Comeback Player of the Year.
When you lay off of baseball as long as I have, it's very difficult coming back. And I felt that once I get back to the big leagues and in the regular season games, I'm determined, and it's a whole new atmosphere up here, and I feel much better. I couldn't feel any better at the plate than today.
His 1970 was even better.
There's a fly ball deep to left, and this one is gone.
He hit 36 home runs, a career high.
There's a drive to left field, and it is a home run.
And saw his most playing time since 1966.
A great catch by Tony Conigliaro, taking a home run away. Tony Orton robbed by Tony Conigliaro. As these two Tonys who used to play together in spring training under Johnny Pesky.
It was hard to believe that he was still just 25.
There's a base hit. The throw to the plate. He's got him!
Despite this success, or perhaps because of it, GM Dick O'Connell decided to trade Conigliaro to the California Angels. The news stunned Boston fans, who were heartbroken to lose a local icon.
You know, he set it a good example because he continually tried, even though he had setbacks and
Think about him when you're playing?
Yeah, I do. I think about him. Yeah, I loved him. I used to love watching him play.
Tony never adjusted to Anaheim, and ultimately spent just 1 year with the Angels.
There's Tony on deck.
Through the 1971 All-Star break, he had managed to hit just 4 home runs.
Strike 3.
In July of '71, Tony announced his retirement.
Word's around, though, that you're getting a lot of offers for sportscasting.
I've been busy. I've had some offers for doing sports in Boston. I've also got a guy working on my life story, a book, and a couple of people interested in the movie rights. And if I could get someone to do a movie on me, I'll play me, I think.
Good.
I think it'd be very nice. I'd like to try it anyway.
Yeah. Do it.
But then, something unexpected happened.
This winter, his vision now certified as better than normal, Tony employed a diplomacy Henry Kissinger might envy and healed the Boston breach.
Tony's eyesight came back. He wrote to the Red Sox, asking them for another chance. They agreed, signing him to a minor league contract in March of 1975.
Tony quickly earned a minor league contract, the prospect of something better, and encouragement from the top.
On April 4th, he got word that he made the team. 4 days later, he played his first home game at Fenway Park in nearly 5 years.
It's a drive to left field. Don Baylor is going way back, and that's going to be gone for a home run by Tony Conigliaro. First home run for Tony C. since his comeback.
Tony would appear in 20 more games before calling it a career, this time for good. The reason, he told reporters, was simple. My body is falling apart.
And I sometimes think, well, maybe I could hit as many home runs as Babe Ruth. It did enter my mind.
For the next 7 years, Tony Conigliaro worked as a broadcaster.
Freddie Lynn hustled and beat out an infield hit. He also broke up a double play with a rolling block.
In early 1982, he got word that Ken Harrelson, his former teammate, was leaving his role as color commentator for the Red Sox. Tony's interview went well, and they gave him the position on the spot. It was January 7th, his 37th birthday.
This would be a chance at a different comeback. Brother Billy was driving an ecstatic Tony after the successful TV audition. Brother Richie got the phone call.
And when they called, said Tony had a heart attack. You can't say Tony had a heart attack. He's 37 years old. And then when the doctor told me, this is real bad, I mean, this is real bad. We go to some famous Russian doctor from Russia who has healing powers. We went to the witch in Salem. I mean, no one's too proud or too crazy when you think it could possibly help someone in your family.
How's he doing right now? He really hasn't made much progress in the last couple of years. He's pretty much just the same as he was a couple of years ago, which is he can't talk much, doesn't eat regular food, he can't walk. So you think back about a being, and it's kind of secondary to me now. I just, it's not even in my mind so long ago, and we're just trying to get him to come around a little bit so he can at least enjoy the rest of his life, and he's got a lot of years left. And
Tony was looked after by his family, who he lived with for the rest of his life.
You know, but he woke up. He didn't wake up the way we wanted him to wake up, but luckily he did wake up.
Tony Conigliaro lives here at home in the 24-hour care of nurses and therapists. He rarely speaks a word, but seems to recognize old teammates like pitcher Louis Tiant, some of whom come by religiously. For 5 years, the baseball cards and letters addressed to Tony have been signed or answered by the family.
If we could give away all the fame and glory in place of having everyone here healthy, that decision would be made in a split second.
Good job. Work hard.
Very good.
That's good, Tony.
Very good. You bet. Okay. That's good.
You did a good job.
Tony, we'll get him better. There's no question about it.
Come on, Tony.
We're used to comebacks. He's used to comebacks.
In 1983, the benefit for Tony C. was held at Boston Symphony Hall. They raised hundreds of thousands of dollars to help with his care.
Whatever the fans in the area can do for him is a small, small repayment compared to what he has done for the fans.
The 1967 season, and that terrible night that he was being, it really was a sorry night, and the fans really felt sorry for him.
In attendance were baseball legends like Willie Mays, Joe DiMaggio, and Ted Williams.
Well, I saw Tony play, and I don't think there's any question that if he'd had a chance to play out a career, that he would have ranked with the home run hitters, all-time home run hitters, I believe.
Tony Conigliaro died on February 24th, 1990. He was 45 years old. Every year, the Red Sox recognize a Major League Baseball player who best overcomes an obstacle and adversity through the attributes of spirit, determination, and courage. It's called the Tony Conigliaro Award.
Former voice of the Red Sox, Ken Coleman.
Thank you, Rico. The national significance of the selection and presentation of the award will continually refresh the memories of baseball fans across America, so they will forever know what he was about. What the award represents is what Tony was about. It will be presented, as you see it unfolded now, it will be presented to a Major League Baseball player who has overcome adversity through the attributes of spirit, determination, and courage, which were Tony Conigliaro's trademarks.
And I'm not afraid of being knocked down or hit. Being knocked down is part of the game, and if I'm knocked down, I'm going to brush myself off and get back up there and swing away.
Thanks again to Baseball Hits 26 for sponsoring this video. Check out the link in the description to download the game.